Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for another glorious P-47 Hitler Bolt video. This is from the 5th of May, so Revenge of the 5th. And originally this video started out at 17 minutes and 40 seconds long. I'm going to trim out some of the quieter, just travel times and non-battle times out of it. So however long it ends up being, that's how much I was able to trim out here. So I had a pretty decent silver line booster turned on, and I figured, why not use the P-47? I haven't used it in a while for Germany, and it was nice to get a map I had not seen in forever, which was Malta, because I think the last few times I played the German P-47, I've ended up with Norway like every single time, so pretty neat to end up with a different map that's not something I've seen in a very, 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 very long time. And of course we had perfect flying conditions, just clouds everywhere as far as the eye could see, but anyway, we'll pick it up here again once the action gets in. Alright, we have made contact with the enemy. There they are. I decided to err on the side of caution here and turn back away and wait for my reinforcements to arrive before I just went in solo against all these Spitfires. So turned back a little bit, made my first reconnaissance pass, and marked out a couple of enemies, and then turned back to wait for a little bit more help. Alright, let's go get involved. Gonna try to help out my brother captured P-47 here by catching this Spitfire in a stall, or at least in a low energy state, if I can. Didn't get any hits into him, but I think I got his attention. And he seems a lot less interested in my friend in the P-47 and a lot more interested in getting into a corkscrewing turn fight with me, which I am not interested in. So let's disengage and build up our speed a little bit, get some altitude back, and reset. I was totally fine with that not turning into an engagement and him going his separate way and me going mine. That was not a turning, diving, descending engagement that was going to turn out well for me, most likely. So my friend in the fellow captured P-47 and I headed over to do a little bit of bomber hunting in the meantime.
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
So I've got a Halifax in sight. Engine is getting a little hot. Got pretty decent speed built up. I'm going to trade a little bit of that for a little bit more altitude and try and get into position to make a snap-up shot at the Halifax or the MB-162 that's now also in sight. Let the engine cool a little bit so I'd have enough time to crank up my engine power and make my snap-up attack on the bomber from down below him. Started my attack a little bit early, but I know I've got the range with the 50 cals to reach him from there, so didn't quite get the hits I was looking for, but I just had to level off again, build up my speed before I totally stalled out, and I was just a little bit far enough down below him that his guns weren't quite effective on me. And as you can see, he's only leaving 3 contrails, so my hit must have damaged his outboard number 4 engine. Or it was already damaged from an encounter with my teammate. And there we go. That's the kind of hit we're looking for. 50 cal flamethrowers, and I didn't expect him to go down that quickly with the wing blowing off, but works for me. The mission objective failed there was the fire ships being protected. So roll back around to find the MB-162 and help finish him off. And I don't know, he's not in sight. A lot of clouds for bombers to hide in on this map. We're just slightly outnumbered here, 6-5 at the moment. Got those 2 guys down below me that I'm not entirely sure what they were doing at this point. They end up getting involved in the fight later, so... And like Death Bloody said here, we could still win, and yeah, I agree, we can still win. We've got decent aircraft left over, and the fight is far from over. Got to find that MB-162, but in the meantime, I'm not too worried about the 162. The best he can do is a little bit of damage to our base, ultimately, so I'm going to head in and try to find their fighters. I assume at this point most of them are RTB and landing to rearm and refuel. Which, with the P-47's fuel and ammunition capacity, I don't need to do that. And I realize that Cadet and Cap there is the Halifax that I shot down, so there's actually one less guy on the team than it appears on the enemy team, so we're in even better shape than it actually looks on the scoreboard. So, getting some altitude to trade for energy later. Find out that they're all at their airfield, so great time for us to get up in the air, especially those 2 guys that were way down low. And we'll wait for them to come up, and we'll engage them from a position of superior altitude and potential energy. Crank my engine way back, dial the engine way back to cool it off as fast and as much as possible. Save some oil and engine temperature for later when I'm really going to need it. Made a reconnaissance pass down here at the enemy airfield. It may be hard to see in the video, but there is a dot at that airfield on the lowest left there. It could be the Spitfire that had crashed recently. So I'm searching for the MB-162 to be RTB here. He had crashed out at some point, so he's gone, but I hadn't seen it, so just searching around up here for him, expecting him to be climbing up to space or at least RTBing. With the way these clouds were, he could have gotten home a million different ways and we wouldn't have seen him. So I've got a dot that I spotted way down low. Called him out. He's probably going in for the landing. He'll be pretty hard to see in the video, most likely. He's over the dark blue of the water. He's just about to make landfall. There's another aircraft on that runway right down there.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
And we've got enemy contact, finally. There they are. My teammate, there's the MB-162 crashing out, finally. My teammate in the P-47 was down strafing artillery out and stuff, which I believe drew them in. And it turns out these are actually the last two guys. Everybody else from the enemy team had either crashed or landed and J'd out. So here we go. Down in the engagement we go. Didn't think I could make the turn I wanted on the Firebrand. Plus the Typhoon is a slightly more dangerous aircraft with the way the Firebrand's gigantic wings are. And it worked out nicely. I went for the Typhoon, my squad mate went for the Firefly, and here we go. I had so much energy in that dive. And somehow didn't get any hits with that spray there. Decided to keep my energy and trade it back for altitude, and up we went again. The Typhoon wasn't in any kind of position to challenge me there, so... use my high energy state and get back to altitude and then do a little more booming and zooming on him. And down we go again. He's going to try and run for home because he's massively outnumbered. He's not going to outrun a P-47 starting with 300 miles an hour in a dive and still diving. And I even put my engine power low to save a little bit of temperature and then ramped it up at the end of the dive and really picked up speed. And then he went into maneuvering, and I've got him. You're not getting away from me now, buddy. Kept him from running back to his airfield, traded a little speed for a little more altitude again, and rolled back in for the attack one more time. This time, we're coming in head-on at the Firebrand. Got some hits into his right wing, and then rolled back up onto our friend the Typhoon, caught him in a very low energy state, and finally connected with my 50s and just riddled him with holes. And that was that. Now let's see what kind of a payday we earned with 3 kills and a premium aircraft and a premium count and a great big silver line booster. Yeah, 220,000 lions. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. 300% silver line boosters really help. I had a 15% research booster turned on too, but it didn't really do me any good at all. I have no aircraft left to research and have the Mark of Distinction done. There's all my awards and the kill feed there. And not too bad. Not too bad at all. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I look forward to bringing you more War Thunder very soon. Thank you all for stopping by and checking this one out. And as usual, I hope everybody has a great day. We'll see you next time.